Hello and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, and just about anything and everything that will keep you inspired in a new year at that. Happy 2026 to everyone. And if you were like me and you celebrated Christmas, I hope it was a merry one. And I hope all your fountain pen dreams came true. It was a lovely Christmas, a lovely holiday season. It's been snowing almost every day in Massachusetts lately, which is a lot of fun. It just gives it that festive feel, even as we head into January, because it's cold, but we need to stay cozy. We need to keep writing. If a problem comes along, we must whip it. No, we must write our way through it if a problem comes along. That's where we are. Lots of interesting things going on. Lots of interesting things have happened. I guess it's been 3 weeks since we've last chatted. So I'm very, very happy to be back. I enjoyed having the time off, but I sort of missed it too. As you can imagine, certain things came to mind I wanted to share, and I couldn't. I had to wait. And then a couple opportunities came up, and I took them. I did an interview that you probably saw with Raymond Yu of Ferris Wheel Press, and that happened very quickly, and that was kind of interesting. I'll give you a little bit of the behind the scenes and thoughts on that and some of the feedback and things, which is kind of interesting. And then I also released a video on that cool printer, which I keep forgetting to hook up. I like to be organized and I keep putting it away, but I need it because I'm using it for journaling. And that was a fun video. So we'll talk a little bit about that. One of the big things I want to mention, excuse me, my voice is a little off. I think I might be getting a cold. I hope not. But I've noted, I can hear it. I know myself, sadly. One thing weird that no one tells you about YouTube is you get a little crazy about hearing your own voice too much because you have to edit your video and you're playing things back and forth and you start to be driven a little mad by the sound of your own voice. But in that, you recognize when there's subtle changes. So including perhaps a bit of congestion, actually. So yes, so there is that. But a big thing I want to mention is there is a special event coming up that I am very, very proud of. I put a lot of work into it over the break, and I think you're going to love it. Love it. It is a very special episode. Do you remember the very special episodes? Usually something terrible happened to a main character or something. It was a very special episode tonight. Yes, it's not like that. It's a very special episode where I trace the history and the strange coincidences and the story behind Frankenstein. Because I came across a very interesting book that is the manuscript, Mary Shelley's manuscript. So I will be sharing that on January 23rd. Is it January? It is. It's January 23rd. A very special episode. I'll probably put it up as a premiere so that you can chat. I know you guys love to chat. I see many people in the chats. I'm seeing many thumbs ups in the chat, which I appreciate, feeding the YouTube monster algorithm. So thank you for that. But I do think you will enjoy the Frankenstein video. Please put it on your calendars, January 23rd. I honestly think you will enjoy it. It does cover some of what we do in this channel, but it's a bit sort of out because it's not directly about fountain pens, but it's about the creative process. It's a bit on handwriting, a few other things. I think you'll really like it. January 23rd. And plus the editing, I really obsessed over the editing. So if you find a mistake in my Frankenstein video. I'd say tell me, it might break my heart, but I think it'll be pretty tip-top, I hope. I want to recognize the wonderful Nathan King. Hello, with a $10 super chat. Hello. A fine pen lasts a lifetime. A good notebook resists hurry. Writing is one of the few luxuries that rewards patience. Thank you. Thank you for that generous contribution to the channel and keeping the lights on. I appreciate that, my friend. And you're 100% correct. Thank you so much. It is one thing that's really interesting about pens and sort of where I'm coming from this year, and that's kind of the main point of tonight's chat, is kind of my curated collection going into 2026. I have weeded out some pens. I'm going to weed out some further. I'm going to reveal to you in a little while a fountain pen that I really don't like. And I don't often do that. I don't like to be negative on the channel. But this is a fountain pen that I don't like, and it's from a brand that I love. So that could be a bit controversial. So stay tuned for that. That will also be this evening. But this year for me is going to be a lot about experiences, a lot about thought-provoking travel and visitation of sort of famous sites around New England that have to do with writers and whatnot. You're going to see a lot of that spill over into the channel, where actually there's a lot of pen reviews coming up too, but there's going to be a lot of other stuff too. I think that'll probably start showing up in spring, summer. And it'll be sort of visits to famous places and doing things with our fountain pens out in the world that are interesting, engaging, inspiring. Because, you know, Massachusetts is a particularly noteworthy place. I don't think there's another town in the world like Concord, Massachusetts. Let's take a minute to talk about Concord, Massachusetts. Okay, so Concord, as you may know, was at the center of the American Revolution, right at the start. The Minutemen, the battle at Lexington and Concord, that sort of mindset and that revolutionary mindset was there from the start. And then you fast forward to 50, 60 years later, you get a whole nother generation of revolutionary thinkers in and around Concord that cannot be paralleled by any other city of any size, and especially not a small agricultural town like Concord at the time. I think the population was around or under 10,000 at the time, and yet you got luminaries like Thoreau, Emerson, Alcott Sr., and Louisa May. You got, Hawthorne. You got so many brilliant, creative minds coming out of this small agricultural town. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. So, but within that, there are all these historic homesteads, and not just in Concord, but even beyond it. So you can visit Thoreau's house, the Alcott house, the Orchard house. You can go a bit further, Frost, up in Derry, New Hampshire, or in Cambridge. There's a Frost house where Robert Frost lived, one of my favorite poets. There's a Walter Gropius house in Lexington, one town over, which is someone we mentioned quite a bit on the channel because he was the founder of the Bauhaus, and you wouldn't have a Lamy Safari without Walter Gropius. So it's pretty amazing what we have here. So you're going to be visiting a lot of different places. Jack Edwards says, good water, perhaps? Perhaps. There is a famous pond in Concord. Walden Pond, which I'm sure you all know. Sadly, it has a big dump next to it, but it has been at least capped. But a very beautiful, tranquil place. So very interesting. Real nice to see a lot of the members here. Thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. Great to see you all. See some new faces in the chat as well. I see Terry's here. I see Kurt. Allie J. Nice to see Allie J. Everyone loves Allie J. Fountain Pen News is here. Nice to see you. Frenchie. Tom Cooch, my man. How are you? Nice to see you. J.R. Diaz, without whom I would not have quite such a nice collection of Lamy. So lovely folks here. I want to show a few things. I don't have a lot to show for myself for Christmas. I really made Christmas about my daughter, not about myself. My wife hooked me up with some really fun clothes. My wife always remarks and sort of laughs that the things that she buys me for Christmas that I love are the things that a lot of other dads and people would get that they hate. You know what I mean? I'm very opposite that way. For instance, my wife got me a selection of Ralph Lauren Argyle socks, and I love them so much. That's the kind of thing I love to wear. And that's what she got me for Christmas. That's not the only thing she got me for Christmas. She got me a few other things, lovely things, thoughtful things. A really nice cable knit Argyle, not Argyle. I did get a new Argyle sweater, but not for Christmas. Cable knit cardigan sweater and a really nice pair of chinos, a bunch of other stuff. But I did get one pen, not for Christmas, but certainly around Christmas, and it will be featured on the channel very, very soon. It is a pen that you would have thought would have shown up on the channel by now. It's late. You're late. You're late to the channel. But I can't blame you, Pen. No, I can only blame myself. So if you're listening to this, I will describe it, because I know many people listen to this and do not watch. This is the Lamy Studio in this gorgeous Bordeaux-like color with a bit of sparkle. This is what attracted me to it. It has to be something that interests me. And then I did a deep dive, as I am apt to do, on the Lamy Studio. And let me tell you, I have thoughts. I have many, many thoughts about this pen. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they supportive? Yes. And in multiples. So there will be a video coming. I have not filmed with it yet, but I have written my script. And it's really funny if you saw how I write my scripts, because I do a lot of research, and all the research is there, and the design history of this pen is a blast and so interesting. So I wrote all that first, and then I write some of the specs down so that I have them. And then it says, well, how does it write? And if you saw my draft, it had ellipses because I had no idea. Like, let's see how it writes. I don't know. Sometimes I record myself writing with it for the first time. With this, I wanted to give it more consideration. I wanted it to be about the design and history, and then get into the specifics about the writing and how I feel about the nib that's being employed here on this platform and other things. So I wanted to live with it for a while, and live with it I have. And taking it to the office and everything else. So I have a lot of thoughts. I hope you'll be interested. I have no idea when it will air, but sometime, probably in March at this pace. I am scheduled until mid-March. I was a very creative boy during the break. But if you're a fan of the Lamy Studio, or if you're curious about it, stay tuned. I'm sure many other channels have done multiples of these years ago. I'm late to the party, as I ever am, but I'm following my own pen journey, and I get to pens when I do. And I'm trying not to let anything else out there kind of affect me, because there is a voice in my head that says, don't buy that pen because it's probably been done to death on YouTube and no one's going to watch your silly video on it. I do think that way sometimes. Hey, I want to kind of show you. Look, I got my lazy setup today. I love my lazy setup because it looks so cinematic. Look at this. Although it's all kind of turned around, so it's gonna be a little weird for me to orient myself. Ooh, lazy setup. Look at that. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're listening, I am showing the pen in a narrow depth of field where just my hands and the pen are in focus and everything behind is slightly blurred, including sort of the apparatus for my microphone. And then I am in a little circle, but now I'll give you me full time. If I can figure out how to switch it. Yes, hello. So that's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to buy the pen if I can't show it on my channel, and then I'm not going to make a video that no one's going to watch. But forget all that. It's 2026, new strategy. The pen inspires me. I'll put my passion, my thoughts, my criticisms in a video, and I hope you'll like it. That's all I can do. I can only put it out there. So that is one thing I wanted to show you. And before I tell you some stories, which I am about to tell you. Ooh, I'm getting some nice feedback on the Lamy Studio. Thank you, guys. What do you think of the Lamy Studio? Let me know. Ollie J's first serious fountain pen. And if you're watching the replay, then put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to show you the one fountain pen that I don't like because it's such a rare occurrence for me, but I think it would be fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is a fountain pen I really do not like at all. Not even a little bit. What is it? It's a Pilot. I love Pilot. I don't love this Pilot. No, not at all. Yes, the sticker's still on it. And I've had this for over a decade, and I've never taken the sticker off. I probably will at some point. This is a Pilot Falcon with a soft, extra fine nib. It's flexy. It's terrible. It's just so bad. And I hate saying that. The nib feels too long. It feels sort of uncontrolled. It flexes, but it's exhausting. It gives you some line variation, but it's not worth it. It's not very pleasant to write with. The pen itself feels kind of plasticky. Even though the design is pretty enough, I can't fault the clip, for instance. It's got sort of a mid-century look to it. The red of this is really quite nice. The finial looks nice. It has a... How do I fill this? I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, it does have a converter, which is nice. But it's dreadful. It just doesn't inspire me at all. It feels a little too precious. The one thing that it does do well is really fine writing if you don't use it as a flex pen and you use it for details. I would imagine it'd be fun to sketch with this perhaps, but I just feel like the nib is too long, so I don't have the control I would like. But in writing really tiny with no flex, that's an advantage if you were filling in tiny little boxes or something. But it just doesn't work for me. I'm sort of surprised that I don't like it. How much I don't like it. In fact, I'm probably going to clean it and then list it. This one's going. Because I'm being like William Morris. If I don't find it to be beautiful or useful, if it doesn't give me joy, it is going. And maybe somebody else would like to own it. So I will probably post this on my Instagram for sale. Or I'll give it to my wife to put up on eBay. So I am cleaning house a little bit to make room for pens that inspire me. So, yeah, Pilot, I love you. I love you. You know I love you, Pilot. But this one, it's bad. It's bad. Bad pen. This Pilot is good. This good. Kakuno. Good. I just filmed with this. I wish I could tell you what, but there's a video coming up where I film with that. As part of it. Super fun. And then I'm digging the fountain pen revolution with document ink. If it gets on my fingers, it stays around for a while. This is a great pen to draw with, but I'm having a lot of fun with this flex nib. But not every flex nib is motivating me. And which other pens do I have in my little pen case? I've actually been leaving my rickshaw pen case at home that has my Mont Blanc 149 in it, empty. Not just empty, but cleaned, but I still haven't filled it with something else because I'm obsessing over which ink to put in it. I have a mystery pen that I've shown you peeks of. That's coming up on the channel soon. And then I have in that one the Pilot Custom Urushi. Here, I have my Curated. I can't get over this pen. Curated, I wish I knew how to quit you. I love this pen. I'm probably going to do another video on the Curated because I'm so freaking passionate about it. I can't retire it. I seem to have a version of this with me always. And I recommend it, but I recommend it in basic black, where you can get it for $2.17. Or the amber, if it's on sale. And then my Schaefer Legacy, which you've seen, I put up a short. My smoothest fountain pen, by far. This one, it's a monster. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm guessing palladium. This is palladium. Shiny. Shiny, shiny. So that and the Lamy Studio is my kit right now. And my desk pen is my Mont Blanc Bohème. I'm trying not to take this out with me. It's tempting. I do like it. Writes like a beast. But it's like a hobby kit. It's kind of a pain to put together. This one is not as tight as the other one. I don't know if it is its age or whatever, but my other Bohème, the clip is in line with the nib. This one is not. So I'm going to show you what I mean. See where the nib is? And you can see the nib is pretty much straight up and down. And the clip is at a slight angle. Does it bother me? Not in the slightest. Could I kind of straighten it up if I wanted to? Yeah, it really doesn't affect it. I see you could straighten it. And the nib doesn't move at all. And now it's straight. So, but if you go kind of all the way where it feels like it's on to completion, it's slightly askew, in fact. Now, I bought this used, and I really don't mind that much. I feel like maybe somebody manhandled it before I got it. Maybe it was put together that way, but it really doesn't matter because I could just straighten it. Look, see, that's fine too. But my ruby red one is perfect. It stays in a line, but it doesn't have these cool little coffers. Do you see the coffers that are in this? Everywhere, coffers everywhere, like the roof of the Pantheon or the wall of the TARDIS during the Fourth Doctor, which is my favorite Doctor. Yeah, beautiful pen. A little sloppy, but we're going to enjoy that. That's the thing about pens. They have personalities. They do their own things. We can just go with them. Okay, I see I got another super chat. I need to recognize somebody. Thank you, thank you. All right, who do we have? We have, it's a Cohen one. $10 super chat. Thank you. New subscriber. Thank you. Your videos made my holiday season so much better. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat and thanks for the kind words. the holidays were kind of weird. I mean, when I left, and this is probably a good segue. So thank you for your generosity and for giving me a segue. Not the scooter, a segue into the next part of the show. The comments were interesting, and you learned a lot from the comments. So I put up some videos, and some things are polarizing, and I understand that. Some things are polarizing for me. The only thing that I don't understand is anger. I don't understand how people get very, very angry sometimes in the comments when we're talking about fountain pens. We're talking about inks and journals. What's there to get angry about? Like, I like a pen, and then you show up in my comments and you hate it and you're angry about it. You know, like, I'm really sorry about that. But you need to relax. And I hate to tell people, like, relax. That's not usually how I'd handle it. But just take a deep breath. Like, if a fountain pen makes you that angry, I would really journal more or something, because I can't think of a single fountain pen that makes me that angry. I mean, we all know the little peccadillos of different fountain pens. If I bought a Visconti Homo sapiens and the nib was messed up, would I be super angry? I wouldn't be at this point, because that would be my fault. Because if I bought a Visconti Homo sapiens and I didn't buy it from Brendan at Atlas Stationers, who any of us, not just me, can call up and say, hi, is Brendan there? And they'll say, oh, he's busy. You know, can you leave your number and I'll call you back? Or, oh, yeah, hold on, here's Brendan. And then you talk to him and say, hi, Brendan, you know, Hemingway Jones told me that if I get a Visconti Homo sapiens, you'll check the nib for me. Yeah, it would be my fault if something came messed up, because if I didn't check it, right? I don't understand the anger. And it's a couple things made people angry. And I feel bad, because, like, my channel's not here to make people angry. It's kind of here for the opposite. The point of my channel is to give you all kind of a tranquil, relaxing place to find a different perspective, perhaps, than the one you already have. That maybe something I put out there has a slightly different take on how you approach collecting fountain pens, buying fountain pens, using them, or journaling, or color theory, or inks. And maybe some of the silliness that I put up, silliness being, you know, euphemistic, but things like Frankenstein coming up on January 23rd has all this interesting facts and history and its global catastrophe and how it led to Frankenstein, all these things. Maybe that's entertaining. That's the thing. I just will never bore you guys. And it's the anger that kind of surprises me. Let me recognize Quara. Hello, $4.99. How is the ghost cat? A bit of a non sequitur, but thank you for that. Ghost cat has made a recent reappearance, Quara, I know, and thank you for your generosity for $4.99. I really appreciate the support of the channel, and I see you very active on the channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you. It does. All of you that are active, it means a lot. Thank you. And thank you, Quara. Okay, so Ghost Cat had been very quiet for a while, but two things happened recently. One is that I saw a cat that wasn't a cat. And that's the first time I saw a cat that's not my cat. And it was in a corner from which it could not have escaped had it been an actual terrestrial cat. What it was, I can only assume I was sleepy and I was hallucinating. But it was a little weird. And there was another bed encounter, too. Another cat on the bed that was not a cat. Maybe it's just muscle memory and I'm hallucinating in a physical way that my cat should be there. I don't believe in ghosts, but Ghost Cat doesn't seem to care that I don't believe in it. Ghost Cat. It's so cute. I gotta put you in B-roll. I haven't put you in B-roll in a long time. Let's make sure Ghost Cat's in frame. Okay. So thank you for that. That was great. So let's talk about some of the videos that went up and some of the issues people had with them. Certain people. And by the way, when I say people, I think it was like 3 people, which is just, it's rare when I get so much anger. And one person was so angry that even when I kind of like kidded them and was like, hey, you know, a little charm goes a long way there, big fella, they just responded with even more anger. So I had to ban them, which I hate to do. But anyway, what made these folks so angry? One is AI. People hate AI. And by the way, I am not the biggest fan of AI myself. It does seem to be something that we're all going to have to deal with and that isn't going anywhere. But any mention of AI, or even any supposed mentions, I told you guys that someone accused me of using AI when I was using the cinematic function on my phone, which I'd like to use more because it uses narrow depth of field and it looks kind of cool. It looks cinematic, ergo the name. But somebody's like, not you too using AI. And it's like, yeah, not using AI. I change my face if I were doing that. I said it in the interview. But the printer uses AI. And you don't have to use that function, but you could. I don't know. Like, and it puts me in a really uncomfortable place because I don't want to defend AI. Because I hate that some kind of a software could replace people who need jobs and need to work. That's sort of the thing I care about the most, and especially as a banker, because I want a strong economy. That's how I make money and support my family. Probably most of you too, either directly or indirectly. So that's kind of my biggest thing, and I just be very uncomfortable defending AI. But I'm also having a hard time differentiating between anything that AI does and that people do. That's maybe the scariest part. Because people in the comments, and these weren't angry people, these were just people pointing out the truth, saying that, well, AI pulls from images that are posted online and then, you know, synthesizes them into something, kind of steals from art and things that are out there on the internet, and then creates something original from it, original-ish. The problem with that is, you know, and maybe you guys can educate me in the comments, how's that different than what people do? You know, I'm not sure. I've seen people on YouTube that are kind of taking ideas from my channel, and it's not AI doing it, it's people. I've seen people copy other people's painting styles, and there's for years people plagiarizing books and, you know, rewriting. I wrote a book and I used a Hemingway book as a template. It was wholly different, but the basic structure was based on Hemingway. I don't know. How's it different? I don't know. Maybe because it's not a person, but it's still doing the same kind of stuff. And even if you're taking an image and then you're printing it for yourself at home, if you just take the image, that's bad too. I don't know, guys. Anyway, I don't want to get too off on a tangent, but it's one of the things I was thinking about. And I guess it came up in the Raymond Yu conversation too, because people accused them in the comments of using AI to do their art, even though Raymond went at length in the interview talking about how his company is primarily a design company that spends all their time on the packaging, and that manufacturing's done elsewhere. I guess maybe people don't believe him, but That's what he says. I believe him. He seems really nice. The only thing I got offended at is one or two people said that was a softball interview. And I would like to address that because this is my show and I can address these things. And please feel free to counter in either the chat, although I might not see it because I'll be busy speaking. Maybe in the comments if you're watching the replay. But it wasn't 60 minutes, you know? That's not my job, though. And I want to make it very clear. I mapped out in the beginning of that video what my goals were for the video. And I feel like I accomplished them. There were parts in that video where Mr. Yu was very uncomfortable. And I'm not saying I was Mike Wallace with the Shah of Iran or somebody the way he used to do his interviews, but we did cover some uncomfortable ground for him. It was very much based, though, as it always is, on my own personal experiences and things I directly read. So I mentioned about how I find his bottles to be a little unwieldy. Beautiful, but unwieldy. A lot of people would not have even brought that up to him. That's what a softball interview is. A softball interview is like, you know, the state-sanctioned media where a certain politician from some country will go on their state media and they ask them no hard questions or follow-ups and everyone is just towing a political line. Or if you have somebody on your show and you're just like, everything you do is so great. How did you make all those great products so greatly? Like, that's a softball interview. It's not a softball interview when you say to someone like, oh, okay, so I saw on a forum that you guys are accused of stealing a pen design. Tell me about that. That's not softball. It's polite. Like, I'm polite with people. And I'm polite because he's very nice. I really like him as a person. And he's got a nice passion and a nice energy, which I appreciated. And I kept hammering on him about how I don't like those bottles, you know? That's not softball interview territory. And I also brought up how I thought his ambassador program that they were running that I couldn't stay in because it had too many rules was kind of silly. And you know, sure, I'm one guy and I talk to people and I think it's a good interview and I think it's good to talk and have a nice exchange. If I had a staff that could go in and verify all kinds of like gotcha moments or something, it would be a whole different kind of show, right? But as it is, people mention stuff after the fact, which I can't verify or not. I wouldn't bring it up because it's hearsay at that point. Unless I can verify something, unless it's happened to me or I've seen it. The stuff I bring up has happened to me. I mean, I guess you could say, what about those that say X? But I don't even know the stories around them. At the end of the day, I was really proud of that interview and I put it up very quickly so you guys would have something to chat on a Tuesday night. I was in the chat on Tuesday night. I was trying to learn how to chat. I'm really bad with the technology of my own chat, but I was there. And I think I recorded that on Monday and I had it edited and up for Tuesday night so you guys would have something while I was away. But it was a really good, I thought, constructive conversation. I thought we got to a lot of good truth in it. And now he's asking me for help in designing their next prototype pen, which should be interesting because it's about the second time I got to do that. And I affected Lockbee. Lockbee made their pen cases slightly longer just because of me. That makes me very proud. So maybe I can have that kind of influence. I don't know. But a very nice fellow. I was very, very proud of the interview. But I probably said too much about it. Tim Doc Harper. Hey there. $20 super chat. Thank you. It's just pens. Relax, people. It was a good interview. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for the support in financial support, which I appreciate very much, and the moral support. But your name is Tim, of course. You're going to help the channel out, right? No, I appreciate that. Let me see. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Churchill. That was a lot of fun. I recorded that video a long, long time ago on Churchill, his pens, the man, and his handwriting. And I had a blast doing it. I had fun digging into his handwriting, and I told you all the different pens that he used and some of the history of him, including his controversies. I didn't want to, I'm not a history channel, just like I'm not 60 Minutes. But I did want to kind of talk about it a little bit too. I don't like to totally ignore things. So I really find Churchill fascinating. As someone who saved his country during a dire time, he's amazing. Just so almost beyond courageous, almost into crazy. So that's probably a whole other story. But certainly a well-spoken person with incredible writing. And I don't mean handwriting. I mean the way the guy could write. His handwriting's okay. Not that great. But it was interesting, and that was a lot of fun. So we had a lot of fun with that. That went up last week. And before that, I put up a video just about accepting your handwriting, because I think we're all suffering from handwriting dysmorphia, where we all are a little bit over concerned with the way our handwriting looks, when in fact it's probably pretty good. All of us. I've been doing pretty well lately, guys. My numbness is very much under control. I'm almost afraid to say that in fear that it'll come back, but I've been doing these neck stretches and they've been helping a lot. I haven't had the issue in a while, but I guess it could come back any time. Let's hope not. My Analog Life, 1970. Churchill vid was super fun and well balanced. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're probably wondering, My Analog Life, 1970. What is coming up this week on the Hemingway Jones channel? Kind of one of the new directions for 2026. I'm getting much more into stationery. So I'm going to move towards stationery. Is that an oxymoron? Moving stationery? Anyway, it's the 5 notebooks that are better than the Moleskine. So I found 5 notebooks and I review them, and a couple of them are God tier. They are awesome. All of these are somehow better than a Moleskine. Now, a Moleskine sets a pretty low bar. Let's be honest. But I think you'll like this video. We go in the history of paper making in one country. We get into Greek gods, one of which I massacre how to say it. And it's a shame because, I mean, my pronunciation at the best of times is challenged. And in this case, I really don't know why I didn't just do a little bit more research, but it's just one of those things. You only have so much time to make these videos. In my life, I really do get small windows to make them, and I put a lot of effort into them. Sometimes I write in advance for a couple weeks, and then I have my time to make it. But yeah, I massacre this one thing. I think most people won't notice, or many people perhaps won't, but or maybe there's so many other words I say weird, you just go along with it because you're kind. Yeah. So in Greek, you pretty much pronounce every vowel. That's what I learned. Anyway, this Thursday, 5 notebooks better than the Moleskine. I think you'll like it. Let's just write it out. Yeah, hey, write your way through it. My friend, 9.99 super chat. Thank you. Anyone else going to Philly next week? Anyone? I wish I were. Philadelphia is my hometown. One of these years, I have to go to the Philly Pen Show. The reason I don't is that I get tired. And thank you so much, my friend, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks for helping to keep the lights on. One day I'll meet you in Philadelphia, one of my favorite cities in the world. Beautiful culture, beautiful museums, the best junk food in the world. Oh man, so much Philadelphia food I miss. Sometimes I can find it here, sometimes I can't. There are a few places that make cheesesteaks the proper way up here, and none of that Cheese Whiz stuff. That all happened after I left. No one that I grew up with would ever put Cheese Whiz on a cheesesteak. We put Cheese Whiz on French fries. That we did do, but not on cheesesteaks. It's gross. What are you thinking? That's like Food Network stuff. And Pat's and Geno's, you can skip those. You can go to Jim's on South Street, much better. Or any of the local places are better. There's a place called D'Angelo's. It's not the chain. Very, very good. Local places, my friends. Philadelphia food, love it. Super chat, $2 Canadian, I believe. Thank you so much. How may I join the Pen Pal group? Hi, Lise. Anadu, 8519. I'm so glad you asked how to join the Pen Pal group, because it's very easy. And I'll tell you all if you'd like to join the group. You merely have to sign up as a member of the channel at either the Illuminati or Cognoscenti member level. Once you do, you email me at hemingwayjones@icloud.com, and I will take your address, give you the link to the list, and have your address added to the list. And then I'll send a welcome letter to you, which is super fun. And I would be delighted to have you. And there should be a join button at the lower right. And if there's not, you can just go youtube.com/HemingwayJones/join. There you have it. I'd love to have you. Also would love it if you guys would subscribe. That's always very important to me and helps the channel to grow and meet more people. Okay. It's a Cohen again. $10 more. Thank you so much. I bet you love Il Papiro in Florence for stationery. I do. I do indeed. I do. And I have some great stuff from there. We're going to have a lot more stationery on this channel. Paper and other objects. So thank you for your kindness tonight. Double super chats from you. I love it. I really appreciate it. Very, very much. Okay. So I did want to mention a few other things. One is something really strange happened with the printer video. Can't quite figure it out. I'd love to get your take on it. So that kind of was a commercial. And I mentioned it to you guys that I'm going to put up a commercial. They gave me the machine in exchange for a video. I really wanted the machine. But if it was terrible, I would have excoriated it because that would make better viewing. You know, that's the thing that people don't really understand, right? And you should, at least as far as my channel is concerned. I am not here to cover for bad companies. So if Mont Blanc has a crummy fountain pen, I'm going to say it. I would love to have a bad Mont Blanc that I can talk about. I talked about the Wes Anderson pen. I'm still talking about it. And it's been over a year since that whole debacle started. Same with anything else. I don't often accept things like that, but I like the idea of that thing, and it did live up to it. I'm still learning it. I don't get as much time to sit down and really focus on it like I'd like to, so I'm still learning it. But I feel like I could make some stickers for the channel. I can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Here's the part I need your help with. And let me know your thoughts. I put it up. It did okay. And then suddenly, on December 23rd, it went from okay to spiking up to getting like 20,000 views in a day. And then it stopped the next day on the 24th. Were there that many people shopping for printers just before Christmas? If so, I kind of wish I'd put it up earlier. But it was really interesting. Usually a video starts out kind of slow, and then it starts to gain momentum, and then it'll start to creep up just a little bit and kind of joins the background of my channel. It's a shame. Some of my videos in the back catalog don't get a lot of views because they're just old, but all the information is all still relevant, and they're entertaining, so watch the old stuff too. But that one started out slow and then went straight up and then sort of stopped. It was very strange, but I appreciated it. If YouTube did it, thank you, YouTube. I'm not sure why, but they did. Let me know your thoughts. Socrates 0603, hi. $10 super chat. A plug for the HJ Discord server. Yes, my Discord server. I went in there recently. We should probably beef up the Discord server a bit. I should get the link and post it, the invite link. I'm not real good at that stuff. But if you're interested in the Discord server, keep an eye on my community section. I'll put something up soon. Thank you for that. Daddy Rich, $10 super chat. Thank you. Oh, and thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. The Leanne printer is great. I bought one for my wife and I for Christmas. $10 super chat. Thank you, Daddy Rich. See, it is. It's a great printer. Like, it lived up to the hype. And I was surprised. They had trouble getting it to me. They sent it. It got lost. And they had to send another one. And then it arrived. And then they said, oh, could you get it up before Christmas? And that was like a week before Christmas. And I was going to take time off. I didn't want to do another video, but I did. And one thing too, and thank you all for the super chats. Thank you both. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel. Thank you. But Daddy Rich, one thing funny, and if you watch the printer video, there is a point where I hit print and then I'm looking at the camera and it gets awkward. And I'm kind of like, and then it's like 7 seconds long. And I was going to edit it. And I do that when I record. Because if you're recording and I'm talking about a fountain pen, I'm saying the Schaefer Legacy, and then I stop, I'm going to sort of freeze. And if I lose my train of thought, I then go, is a fantastic pen. Because now I can edit that together and it's going to match perfectly. So I was doing a bit of that where I was just kind of there and I was waiting for it to go. And I left it in the edit as it was because I thought it was good to show you all how fast the thing was, which I think 7 seconds from print to going to the machine and printing out a very detailed, high quality sticker is pretty good. So I left it, but I thought it was kind of charming because I look really awkward and silly. So I'm not afraid to look silly. Believe me. All those people that think I'm a snob and that I'm posh and all this, little do they know that I'm really just a big goof. But you guys all know. Tim Doc Harper, hey, $5 super chat. Thank you again. Discord channel is a hoot. We need more people, though. We do. We do indeed. I need to spend more time there, too. I'm stretched very thin. I should be thinner for how stretched I am. But thank you. Thank you for that super chat and for the kind words. Pretty awesome. Okay. So next week's video is really entertaining. It's called A Fountain Pen Expert Tries Ballpoint Pens. So I think you're going to enjoy that one. That's next week on the Hemingway Jones channel. So lots of really fun stuff this season. And I consider it seasons now. This season is going to be very, very interesting and kind of intense, and a lot of emotion, a lot of facts. The one that I'm the most proud of right now is Frankenstein on January 23rd. Mark your calendars. I am so excited. So excited to be releasing that Frankenstein video. And Gizmo Geek says you don't need to be a channel member. Great point. You don't need to be a channel member to be on the Discord server. You just need to be in the Hemingway Jones community. And if you're watching now, you are. I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe, though. I hope that's not too much to ask. Love to have you as a subscriber. So lots of fun there. Mirren Vale, who I just wrote a letter to today in the Pen Pal group. HJ, I don't know how you find time for it all. Me either. I'm getting a little crazy about. I'm getting a little smarter. I write in the cracks of my life, and now I have these windows on Saturday morning where I record. My family is very accommodating, and if we go out somewhere, then I do it either Friday night or Saturday night. And then Sunday I edit. We usually hang at home on Sundays. And that's kind of how I do it. It's just time management. And then I give you guys my Tuesday evening too, so that we can have this time together to chat and catch up on where I am in my fountain pen journey. I have a note here, ink mustache. And oh yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe I did, but one of my videos that's coming up, I got some permanent ink on my finger and I touched myself on my lip and I almost gave myself a, I can't say the name of the 1930s dictator from Germany, but I think you know who he is. But I almost gave myself kind of that kind of a mustache, but it's like a blue slash. And I finished the whole video with blue on my face and didn't notice it until I went to edit it. And that's kind of the thing with my channel, is that I only got one shot. I recorded it and then I had to edit it and I just put it up as it was. And then I put a little countdown in the video, like ink mustache and 3, 2, 1, something like that. I remember, or at least I go, it's coming up and then here it is, something like that. So, yeah, these things happen. It's a danger of the job, actually. Gizmo Geek says that YouTube is deleting the Discord link. It might, but I think if you put it in a comment and not as a chat, it'll do it. I think the chat thinks it's spam, but I think you can do it in the comments. And if not, I'll put it up. If you want to email it to me. I should know it myself, but I have trouble finding it. So, yeah. There you have it. There you have it. I'm debating. I might do a video someday on how I use AI, because I think I'm using it differently than anyone else. I'll tell you how I'd never use it. I'd never use it to write, because writing is the whole point of my channel. As a writer, I'm always going to write my own channel. But I use it in my personal life in a very unique way that I've never seen anyone else do. I'm not saying I'm the only one who does it. I'm just saying that I haven't seen anyone else share how it's done in the same way. And I might do something like that because I think you might find it helpful and surprising. So maybe at some point I'll record something like that as a extra. But there's so much to do, guys. So many pen videos, so little time. You, the best and brightest, the sharpest minds out there. I appreciate all of you so much. You guys are awesome in the comments. You're awesome in the chats. You're so supportive and kind. You keep me inspired. I hope I can help keep you inspired a little. I really feel like we're building something great here. A really nice community. A really nice space on YouTube where you can spend a little time enjoy the vibe, which is very laid back and very welcoming. And just see where the pen takes us. Because from the pen, we can go anywhere, and we do. And we'll consider going even more places in 2026. So Happy New Year, everyone. Big hugs. Big hugs. Warm, affectionate hugs. I'm wishing the best for you. And thanks for being here. Subscribe if you've reached here and you haven't yet. Love to have you on this journey. And do take care of yourself. It's going to be an interesting year. The channel should be a nice place to rest as everything else is swirling around us like insane tempest. But I'm so glad to be here sharing this time with you. So check out my new video on Thursday. 5 notebooks better than the Moleskine. I think you'll enjoy it. And I'll see you again next Tuesday night with another fun and exciting live show. I can't wait. Already can't wait. So thank you all for being here. Much love. Take care and see you further up the road.